Facebook Live. Hello, Facebook. Right, so positive discrimination. Let's talk about that just for a second. So we've had Kira here with us for, did you say this is the 8th month, Kira? I keep asking you. 8 months. And Adam says it feels like 8 years. That's great. She's obviously a well-rounded part of the team now because we mock her just as much as we mock each other, which is good. Probably more. No, shouldn't do that. Discrimination, right? So I called what the council used to do is they used to give you a grant if you wanted to get apprentices into the business. I did this for a few years and they said if you're between 18 and 24, then I think it was 18 and 24, we would it was something like 16 and 19, 24, whatever. They said we will give you as a business some funding towards that. It was kind of like to help you employ apprentices into your business, right? And you got support as well from various organisations. So what you would do is you'd employ your apprentice, you pay them about 500 quid a month, and you could get up to £3,000 back. So over a 12-month period, it's quite a good amount of the funding for that first year. Now, some people abuse this. They would hire apprentices for 12 months and get rid of them. Maybe that's why things have changed. Some people would just take the funding after 6 months and get rid of them as well. But generally speaking, for people that wanted to get apprentices and sort of nurture them and build them as part of the business, it was a really good thing. It helped get young people into work and encouraged businesses not to go for people that have just got experience, actually give them a chance and they can sort of learn on the job. And so we've done this over time, and we've brought people into the business. Some have stayed longer than others. Hey Bill, the knee guy, he's back again. Right, anyway, sorry, I got super excited when you're there, Bill. We're just going to have to do a Facebook Live together, me and you, I think. Anyway, so we get these apprentices in, and you're encouraged to do this. But then I just called the council and I said, hey guys, there was this funding that I'm sure we should have been getting at some point, but we've not received it. What's going on? And they said, oh, we don't do the funding anymore. And I said, all right, that's fine, unless you're one of these people. And they started listing this stuff. Have you got somebody that's disabled? Have you got somebody that's been to prison? Have you got somebody that's been unemployed for 6 months? They're the people we support now. So they went from saying we have this amount of people that we support, pretty much young people in general, to just this amount of people here. Because we identified that the 10% of people that were not in businesses needed supporting. And so we give all the money to them. Now, I've been around a little while, right, and I've seen funding. In fact, I live next to Braunston, LE3 for the locals here. And I've seen all the funding that gets put into these disadvantaged areas. That was the other category, disadvantaged. There's an absolute shit ton of money put into disadvantaged areas. Now, I get it. I understand, right? Disadvantaged, want to help them out, want to get them into business. But what about everybody else? Just because I don't live in LE31, which was the postcode they were targeting at the time, and there's high crime there and all that kind of stuff, means you don't get the support and the funding. Can I not be disadvantaged in being a different postcode? Do I have to move into that postcode to get that support? Do I have to have had a disability? Do I have to have been to prison to get that support? That is a ridiculous mentality. That's the positive discrimination that people are putting out there. That's where we're saying, oh, you know, if the council have identified you as needing support, so you're the only ones that need support. We're in a situation where there's poverty across this city. There's loads of people that support the homeless. There's food banks set up in this city. People are supporting these people all the time. And what we're saying is, yeah, actually, well, they don't really fit into these categories. So balls to them, basically. We don't really want them to get a job or get put into industry. It's an absolute ridiculous situation to be in. Hey, Matt, I have to pay £5,500. What's that say, Ian? Per apprentice. Trickles back when certain timeframes and targets met. Yeah, and I get that, and that's good, Ian, right? Like, for me, I see it like there's a if you take someone on as a full-time member of staff on a sort of a normal wage, that's quite a lot for a small business a lot of the time. So apprentice is quite a good thing because it means they're a little bit lower paid, but then naturally they move towards a normal wage. It's not a normal or not normal, is it? But the point is that you can then sort of build their skills up. They start earning new money, which means you can start paying them more money, etc., etc. So there's a good logical sort of path for that process. But anyway, going back to this situation, I'm just amazed. So the council have gone from allocating all this money to sort of every young person, available to every young person, to saying you have to fit this small category of people, and it's just really sad. I just think it's really sad. There's a lot of funding for disadvantaged people with disabilities. There's a lot of funding available all the time, grants, etc. Do we really need to say for apprentices there's no funding available unless you're in those categories? Anyway, that's what the council have done. Leicester Council, love ya. Bye bye.